Version 1.4.0 update is finally up, and there are a lot of new interesting features that have been added to the game, like quality of life improvements along with some cool bug fixes and adjustments. One of the main questions is, do our staple Lumina farming methods work after the patch? Or are the Contorso double drop method and Danseuse method still working? I will be answering all of these with actual tests later on, but let's talk about the improvements first, and we can now access frame generation and low latency mode support for both DLSS and XESS. And of course, this applies to the compatible graphics cards only. This will allow us to enjoy smoother gameplay and lower input lag, which is very important in this game, especially since everything revolves around parry. Now, these new performance improvements will not affect me in any way since I do have a high-end system, but I can totally understand that having more frames is ideal choice for more players rather than playing in super low frame rates with gorgeous graphics. When I'm playing on low-end PCs in the past, I would rather make the game look ass just to increase my frame rate. These changes are welcome additions to lower-end systems, most importantly, lessening the input lag latency, which most of the time leads to deaths in this game. Quality of life improvements are welcome addition in every game, and Sandfall is making it even better with every patch. We can now enjoy a battle retry feature every time we fail in combat. This saves us a lot of time since if your team dies in combat, you will be respawning somewhere near the enemy who sent your team to heaven. However, keep in mind that for some reason, the retry feature doesn't work on Simon. Maybe Sandfall wants us to keep approaching the guy to understand his suffering sitting on the abyss for so long. But rest assured, this feature is available for other types of bosses, so it's still a huge win for a lot of players. Here's another good addition. The Pictos menu now clearly displays the Lumina cost of each ability for better planning. Now, this could have been more helpful if they had added it much earlier, since the majority of us now had tons of Lumina, and this feature is a godsend for beginners and offers a little value for veteran players. How I wish I had this feature in the past, since I lost count of how much time it took me just to check the Lumina requirement of a certain Picto. But now, you can easily see it in the Picto menu, where there's a little icon of the Lumina cost displayed on it. The same thing applies when equipping Pictos to characters. You can now easily see the cost when trying to juggle between Pictos. Sandfall added an autoplay dialogue, which works like a traditional feature for other RPG games, especially in JRPGs. A lot of players will love watching camp dialogues now, which gives this sense of cutscene-like experience. Personally, I'm not a native English speaker, so I still have this feature turned off, so I can read between the lines. But I can imagine this minor feature will provide value for a lot of you out there. Sandfall added more options for us to tweak the volume of background music and sound effects by giving us more sliders. You can independently tweak your volumes when in exploration, or when in combat, or when playing cutscenes. Now, this may sound boring at first, but aside from the story, what I enjoyed the most when playing this game is its soundtrack. I cannot stress how it plays a major role, especially when heightening certain scenes, so this is a major win in my case, since I can just lower or increase the volume of the soundtracks to improve my overall experience. I seriously love this feature when Sandfall redesigned Luna's stains icon with definitive and clear elemental icons, so colorblind players will have an easy time determining the stains that a skill generates. I can imagine they look pretty much the same when you take out their colors, so bless you Sandfall for recognizing these challenges in the past and improving them on the latest patch. We have few changes in terms of overall combat, but according to Sandfall, Luna's thermal transfer skill will no longer grant an extra turn without meeting the stain consumption requirements. I will not pretend that I use Lune a lot since my main party is Verso, Mayel, and CL, so I had a little time mastering Lune, but this is surely one of the known bugs in the past, and me personally, I encountered this myself. You can pretty much have a second turn without using 2 Earth Stain in the past as long as you use the skill on a burning enemy, which is nuts, so Sandfall is finally fixing this bug for good, which is a good thing. If you're getting value so far, subscribe to the channel. Liking the video and engaging in the comments helps me a lot. Join our Discord server and discuss role-playing games such as this and I appreciate your support. Now this one's greatly bothered me and still confuses me after several tests. According to Sandfall, characters will no longer gain immortality when using second chance Pictos combined with healing boon and protecting that. Second chance Picto in my eyes are pretty much balanced since they can only be used once per battle. So I am not sure how on earth players make their characters immortal by just combining healing boon, which only heals 15% of the character's HP when a buff has been applied to a character. Then you have protecting that Picto, which will then grant shell on that. So if you know how to make this setup work, let us know in the comments and fill us in. Now you may be wondering, the closest immortal build that comes into mind is Verso's immortal build, which I covered in my top 3 builds to beat Simon. So if you are interested in that, check the description by clicking the card here. I first thought that maybe somehow the build was affected, but as you can see, it's the build playing in the background and the immortal build is alive and kicking just fine. I know this build is unlikely to be affected, but I tend to use second chance to jumpstart the process, so I first thought maybe it will cancel the Oriole buff or the immortality buff of Verso, which I can happily say it's not affected in any way. We do have fixes applied to certain achievements and journals. According to Sandfall, they fix a bug where journals are vanishing after loading a save file that was created at the exact moment of picking up that journal, while also fixing some achievements that did not appear when meeting the right requirements. However, I did not encounter any of these bugs during my multiple playthroughs, especially the Expeditioner and the Trailbreaker achievement bug that doesn't appear if a certain character reaches level 33 and 66 on certain save files, and the Connoisseur and the Follow the Trail achievement as well, which don't appear after collecting all of the required items. I'm just glad that they are fixing things like these, since I can imagine completionist players like myself will be pissed off big time after working on something and not getting rewarded. If this happened to you, let us know in the comments what you experienced. Now this is interesting. Sandfall even improved the overall world's performance by tweaking and polishing the overall visuals across multiple levels for a more immersive experience. This game is already looking great and it is one of the most gorgeous games I played so far. So knowing they even improved the graphic fidelity in certain areas is a big win on my end. Here comes what we've all been waiting for, or the things that I'm always eager to try every time a patch is being applied to the game. Every time a patch arrives, the million-dollar questions that we need to answer is the Contorso bug fixed? This is one of the most common questions that I get in the comments in all of my farming videos as well. And I will happily say that the Contorso still drops double rewards after several test runs, so you can rest easy. The Contorso weapon, which is Verso's weapon, allows the player to score double rewards. This is possible since the Contorso summons lightning in every strike, so that's 2 hits in every strike. So when you kill an enemy with a Contorso, the system will think that the enemy has been killed twice, making it drop double rewards. Why is this important? I hear you asking, my dear viewer. It is important because you can easily access the Contorso to optimize Lumina farms. I've already covered the best of the best spots and methods, and the Contorso is one of the key factors of making them even more ideal. But for you to understand how double rewards work, since you can't just use the Contorso and start killing things and expect double rewards, there's a specific mechanic and ways for you to make the double rewards work, and the mechanic video that I'm showing on the screen right now will help you understand it, along with my best Lumina farming guides for your convenience. Again, all of the videos are linked in the description. You can perfectly see that I'm scoring double Lumina rewards in the Monolith spot, which is 10 color of Lumina, and having 4 Lumina drop from arguably the best spot in the game, the Creation spot, which can give you times 8 Lumina per run with the Contorso double drop method. But what about our favorite Danseuse spot, my lords and ladies? I'm happy to tell you guys that the method is alive and kicking and can still provide you with tons of Lumina. I've also covered this method in the videos that I talked a while ago, and basically, you can still kill the Danseuse minions over and over to get a lot of Lumina. To test this for you guys, I've farmed with my staple setup with 15 minutes straight, and the Danseuse method still gave me a whopping 655 color of Lumina, which is a lot. So you are expecting my usual farming results gains of 3,000 plus of lumina per hour, which I stated and showed in my farming guides. I am very sure that there are hidden fixes about weapon effects that were not listed on the actual patch notes as usual. So if you have information on any of these hidden weapon changes and usage, write it down in the comments so we will know. But if you want to know the best of the best pictos in the game along with the best builds for your characters, click on this video and I will catch you on the next one.